Okay. Man, okay, so that is nice and tight. You think this ceiling fan's gonna click anymore? I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think so. Now let's just look at this a little bit more. You see, most of the time, let's say you're not going to hook up this module, okay? That's for the handheld control. The handheld control goes up here, signals this with the antenna, and controls your ceiling fan on, off. See, low, medium, high, fan off, light, dimmer. And the funny thing is, some of them have reverse. And usually that's on there too, but this one didn't have it, and it's got it. Usually you'll see it somewhere, and this one's right here. I can turn it the other way, and the blades will reverse the opposite direction. Or I have it one direction, and usually I do it so when you're standing directly underneath the ceiling fan, it blows directly down. If you turn it in reverse, it actually sucks the air up from the ground. So if you have a heater, or fireplace or something, and it's the middle of winter, you can turn these blades the opposite direction right there if your handheld remote doesn't have the reverse. Okay? Sorry about the phone, but anyways, then it sucks the air up, right up to the ceiling, and then it takes it at the ceiling and blows it sideways to your walls, and then from your wall down. So it takes all the hot air way up high and blows it back down into your room. Can you believe that? And then in the summer, you have the blades turning the opposite direction, and then that throws your air straight down. Okay, but back to that light. If you don't have the remote, and if you don't have this sensor, let's say you don't have that at all, this is what you got. You're going to have coming from your ceiling fan. You've got your ground wire, you've got your hot wire, which is the black, you got your white wire, which is the neutral, and you got the blue wire. Well, what's the blue wire for? Well, that's for a light kit, if you have one. If you don't have a light kit, you would cap this off. And see, usually it has it will have something on here. And see, for this it says for light kit. See? For light kit connection. For light kit connection. Okay? If you don't have a light kit, you would just put a cap over that and shove it up in there. But we're hooking that up because it does have a light kit. And see, remember on this side, you got your power in. That's coming from your ceiling. Okay, from your ceiling box. Your hot wire, which is your power. Your white wire, which is the neutral. Okay, and then you've got your ground wire on the actual ceiling fan itself, not on the module. Okay, then you got another ground wire just like this on your little stand up there, that black knuckle holding stand. Then you've got the ground wire that comes from the ceiling. You hook all those together, and then on this side, here's your power in. Now your power out that goes to your ceiling fan, which are these wires right here. Okay, your white wire to white, black to black, and your blue one to the blue for your light kit. And usually you'll see on here somewhere, see right there, it says for light, the blue wire. And the black, it says to motor. To motor, which is your motor here, this black one here. And then this white wire says to motor, to motor in, which is neutral. To motor, the neutral wire, the white wire. And this one says to motor, and I think it says an L, but I don't know. I don't know why that's an L. That's just load, and that's your black wire from the motor. Okay, simple enough, right? Okay, so I'm pretty sure that this fan is not going to wobble now. This knuckle's on here tight, this riser pipe, these set screws are tight, and if those set screws were loose, you'd want to take this pipe here and get it straight up. And if you're not going to take this whole thing down, if this is tipsy one way or another, you have to kind of look at it, eyeball it, start one, set one screw, and then tilt a little bit more and put the, tighten up the other screw. And that's what that does. Those two side screws just keep this from wobbling or from being crooked. If you got it crooked, your weight distributed might be slightly off. Okay? Jeez. I think I've got it. I'm pretty happy that I was able to take it down. Because see, had I just done my trick and made sure that the knuckle that I slipped it up and swiveled it over. See, I would have just lifted this up off of the knuckle adapter there, and then taken that, swiveled it until I could see where the set screw was, depending where my ladder was set up, let's say. And then I would just tighten that up, because more times than not, that knuckle gets loose from that set screw. And then I would have said, okay, that's it. And then I would have put it back down, because all those wires were in my way for making sure that that mounting bracket up there was nice and tight. Okay, those set screws, that screw right there, and the one on the other side, if those are loose, it's going to wobble. And even if you think they're tight, it's best to get your screwdriver and fish your screwdriver up in there and make sure those are tight, because that's a chance that it could be slightly loose, and eventually if it gets looser, this whole thing could fall down. And if that got off of there and started coming down, it could come down, and those wires up there, those small wire nuts, you think these small wire nuts are going to keep that whole ceiling fan from falling down on top of your kid, on top of your baby, on top of your spouse, on top of yourself, or whatever? Probably not. Okay? So always, you got that cover down, always check, make sure those set screws are tight. I'm glad I checked that, because I'm pretty sure that's what was causing, I'm gonna have to clean this up. That's what's causing that to wobble, because that knuckle seemed to be tight. Now granted, the ceiling fan blades seem to be a little bit loose too. You get one or two of these loose, just a little bit. Can you see if it sags? If the blade is sagging just a hair, that could cause it to wobble. See that color of the blade? We didn't like that. So when I put it up initially, I asked Motha and my pops, okay, which way do you want it? They decided they wanted this down here, and based on their decor in this room, wouldn't she suggest that dark brown would probably be the way to go? Okay, I think it might have looked out of place had we have put that color facing down. It would have been washed out way up here. Okay, but they give you a choice. Most of the time they give you a choice. Okay, so now I got to put it all back together again. And you've probably got this covered now. When you have that out, I guess I could wipe the glass out too. Make sure the glass is nice and cleaned out so you don't have any bugs in there. Gives you a chance to kind of get it upgraded, and before I put it back up there, I could get my rag or something, wipe all this stuff off. Look at all that dust on there. And clean off the sides. I could clean off my blades now that they're down here, if I wanted to. Even though the tops look okay, the ones facing down look okay. Maybe the top might have some dust on it or something. Or the arms. You're giving it a little bit of a tune-up, a little clean too, before you get ready to reinstall it. All right. That's funny. I started this, I've been at it over an hour, and Mother wants to go. I'm going to take her to dinner at the spaghetti factory, and I thought, I have plenty of time to get this done. I didn't realize I was going to have to pull the whole thing down. But anyways, I'll still get her. We'll still get there in time. And I was looking at this, and the way that this was put together, there's also some screws up in here. So I just checked those. Any place where you see you've got screws that's connecting everything together, just go ahead and double check them. And again, I'm glad I took this whole thing down, okay? Because initially I was like, I'm not going to do that. I think I can fix it without it. Takes a little while longer, but then you can really check everything out, and I think you'll be able to find out why your ceiling fan is clicking. And I think we found the culprit, didn't we?